Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Y'all already know who it is. The big boss hog, boss dog. Can't poke through the door. I had to slow it down, top the screw it for you. We the Mind on Greatness podcast. I got Brody right there, the soldier. Shout out to all our veterans. That day coming up too. You know what I mean? We're a fraction of the Mind on Greatness podcast here to talk about sports and everything else in life. Shout out to Mike. Shout out to Peso. They weren't able to make it today, but it's all good. It's all love. We still family. We still brothers. You know what I mean? But today's topics, man, we're gonna talk about a little bit of NBA. You know what I mean? We're gonna see, was there some games that caught your eye? We're gonna talk about it. We want y'all to talk about it too in the comment section. And we're gonna talk a little bit of NFL. You know what I mean? Now, granted, I told y'all we got some things coming. Right now it's the season to talk about NFL, NBA, NCAA, boxing. It's just that season. But we gonna get on some other topics later on. But let's get back. Let's spin it back. Let's spin the block back. B, let me know about your NBA games that caught your eye, man, on week one. What you got?
Okay, for sure. What it is, people, we back at it again. You know what it is. Mind on greatness. We here to talk that good stuff for you. But anyways, you know what I'm saying? NBA week one opening. You know what I'm saying? I got a chance to look at a little bit of the Denver Nuggets versus the Lakers, but that game didn't really catch my eye. But the game that caught my eye and enticed me the most was the Phoenix Suns versus the Golden State Warriors. And the reason is why it's a lot of ramifications going on behind this game. You know, there's an opportunity for Kevin Durant to prove himself as a great, because now he get a chance to go against, you know what I'm saying, Chris Paul, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and the rest of that cast over there that's over there in Golden State. So I would like to see this in the 7 game series, and I know these two gonna take it all the way down to game 7 because, like I mentioned earlier, the ramifications behind it. And then not only that, I was a little skeptical about Chris Paul, you know, going over to the Warriors. I was trying to figure out how would he fit in, how would he be able to, you know what I'm saying, fill a void for these boys who really almost got everything they need to continue to have success in the NBA. But I thought about it, you know what I'm saying? I pondered on it and I looked at it and I thought about Chris Paul role his whole career, you know what I'm saying? He came up having to be the star and playing with a bunch of outcasts, you know what I'm saying? He played with some decent stars, decent co-stars, but at the same time Chris Paul is used to that. So Chris Paul coming off the bench for the Warriors, it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? He get on the court, he get the hoop with some people who, you know, could go to other teams and possibly be starters, but at the same time, he got a Sart, he got a Looney, he got Draymond Green that'll be out there with him from time to time. So he could take those guys and be the floor general and give them everything they need to keep the Warriors scoring while Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, you know, chilling on the bench doing what they got to do. And they're going to love it anyway. You know, he get them guys going, Chris Paul, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, all of them, you know, they're going to vibe together and get the job done. So, again, I would like to see that matchup in the 7 game series. You know, that'll be dope to see in the Western Conference. I don't care if it's the finals, the first round, second round. I just would like to see that. But anyways, what you got to say about NBA Week 1? What games you got into, Capo?
Um, I watched a couple of games. I watched my Rockets get blown out by 20 by the Orlando Magic, and they lost again today to the Spurs. So it ain't looking too good for H time, man, in the basketball scene. But hey, you know, it's the beginning. It's the beginning stages. They're young; they'll figure it out. But I watched the Lakers Denver Nuggets team, and I mean game. I said team. The game. I was intrigued because there's a lot of back and forth in the off season. With the Lakers talking about how motivated they are and how they're gonna come back and get their revenge on the Nuggets. So I was intrigued to see how the Lakers will match up. Besides their core nucleus, which is D'Angelo Russell, LeBron, and AD, they got a lot of movement and a lot of new acquisitions on this team. You know what I mean? So, with some examples, Vincent, to help with the backup point guard position. He was a key piece for the Miami Heat last year in the playoffs. So, adding Christian Wood, who was Houston Rockets star, now he's with the Lakers. So, you know, um, I like the pieces that they added. Do I think that'll help them in the long run? No, they're gonna have to make one more acquisition. They're gonna have to move some people around. But what I learned from the game was Denver is the number one team right now in the Western Conference. I think that Joker showed that he's leaps and bounds better than Anthony Davis. I mean, the dude can, and this is the thing, he's not athletic at all. He gonna play for a long time because he's not a guy who plays above the rim. You know what I mean? He can he can he can back you down like Shaq did, or he can pull you out and shoot the three like Dirk used to do to people. So he's a very good passer, one of the best passing big men in the game, and I saw that him and Jamal Murray together got something special. So I was intrigued by that. With the Lakers, I just still see a lot of dysfunction on that team. They don't know who want to bring the ball up, whose turn is it to do this. So they have to get better defensively. They have to get better with
Most
the flow
definitely.
of the offense.
Most
I
definitely.
think what they're gonna have to do is probably, since James Harden, that might be an option. James Harden is unhappy in Philly. Luke probably trade D'Angelo Russell, you know, and maybe some picks and go get James Harden. You know what I mean? And maybe James Harden, I know he probably don't want to go there. He wants to go to the Clippers. But maybe add him that can, basically help with playmaking for the Lakers. You know what I mean? Because James Harden is a brilliant passer. But that's the games that I watch, man. That's the games that I watch. So B, we're gonna get off this NBA topic, man. We're gonna segue into something else. That NFL topic. B, bring it in. Bring it in nice.
Right. All right, for sure. Here we go. Another NFL Sunday in the books. You know what I'm saying? It's another week already underway. You know what I'm saying? But before we get to this week's action, we're gonna do a light recap and react to some of the big games we got into, especially the three we picked from the last episode. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna go over those. We're gonna recap those, and we're gonna give our reaction. So first things first, let's get this out the way. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about this Lions versus Ravens game. Uh, I'll be honest. If you caught the last episodes, you got to be in tune. You got to be catching these episodes. You know, the whole Mind on Greatness panel that was present, picked the lines to some of the keywords we said. We picked the lines to mop the floor with the Ravens. We said the defense was inconsistent. It played when it wanted to. We said Lamar Jackson wasn't using his feet, and this why they was having trouble with getting the offense going and staying consistent. So the Ravens showed up and proved everybody on our panel wrong that was present that day. You know what I'm saying? So kudos to the Ravens. Now let's get into some of the stats for this game. I'm gonna specifically tailor this towards Lamar Jackson first. You know what I'm saying? Lamar Jackson was 21 to 27, 357 passing yards. He had 3 passing tutties. He had 1 rushing tutty. And the biggest takeaway for me was he had 1 rushing tutty and he had 300 plus passing yards without even really using his feet. He only had 36 rushing yards, y'all. And this was something I specifically pointed out myself. I said the offense was stagnant because I felt like they was holding back Lamar from using his feet. Boy, did he come out and hit me on top of my head and prove me wrong. You know what I'm saying? But that's part of the job. That's what we do. You know, John Witherspoon said it best. You live to fight another day. And right now I'm fighting another day against the Ravens. But at the same time, R.I.P. to John Witherspoon. You feel me? But at the same time, I'm gonna pass it over to you, Capo. But this is the questions I want to ask about this game. What was your biggest takeaway from this game for the Baltimore Ravens team moving forward, and also for the Lions? Do you still think they, you know, got their mindset on greatness, or you think they selling wolf tickets when they should be selling Detroit Lions tickets? You know what I'm saying? Let them know how you feel about it.
Um, what I learned from the Baltimore Ravens moving forward is if they are all entwined and focused, then they can be a dangerous team. They beat a very good Detroit Lions team. You know, Lamar Jackson was very efficient. Like you said, 21 for 27. Like, he only missed 6 passes. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta understand. He only missed 6 passes. You know what I mean? So, and don't forget the defense had 5 sacks. You get what I mean? So the defense bottled up that Detroit Lions offense who likes to play physical football. They want to run the ball down your throat. They want to throw the play action and throw it to the tight end or to their receivers, and their receivers gonna run you over too. They're a very physical team, and the Baltimore Ravens were able to be more physical than the Detroit Lions. So I feel like with Baltimore, if they're able to, play like this every week, they're gonna be dangerous. You know what I mean? It's just them showing up every week. That's just what it is. You know, now the Detroit Lions, I don't think they're pretenders. I think that they still are contenders. I think they're learning how to win. This is their first time. Think about it. In a long time, the Detroit Lions has been respected as a football team, right? So a lot of people are picking them to beat a lot of top teams, a lot of key names on key teams. So they have to learn how to, when the spotlight is on them, how to win with the spotlight is on them. And I think they still don't know how to do that yet. So I'm not gonna say they're a pretender. I'm gonna say they still learning how to carry, and live up to the hype. That's what I'm gonna say. You know what I mean? So that's my take on it, man. But that was a dang. I mean, look, bro. I'm telling you, everybody on the panel picked the Detroit Lions to
Yeah,
Molly Wop,
yeah,
cold
you
clock,
definitely did.
chop the block with the Baltimore Ravens. And the Baltimore Ravens said, "Nah, man, we finna show these boys how we do it." So
Right,
that's my
right.
take on it.
All right, cool, cool. So we're gonna move into this next game. So bear with us. I picked this next game right here because I always tell y'all I specifically talk about the Steelers in last week's episode. See, we going back to last week's episode. Y'all gotta be watching us now. Tune in, stay tuned, cause we finna start referring, and y'all gotta know this. But anyways, last week's episode, before I let Mikey Capo, talk me over into picking the Rams, I had specifically notated the Steelers do exceptionally well coming out of their bye weeks, and they find a way to win. And now look at them, they found a way to win. And if I'm not mistaken, I gotta go back and look at it. I think if you look up the Steelers' record, they quietly 5-2. I believe. I think they quietly 5-2. A lot of people wouldn't expect this from a Kenny Pickett who been inconsistent from a team that was supposed to have a superb running game with no running. A lot of people didn't expect it. But correct me if I'm wrong. I think they 5-2. But anyways, so for this game, they came out and did what the Steelers do. They came out of the bye. They got a win against a solid team. Now I know the Rams record don't reflect what they really are, but at the same time, that's a solid team to be going against. Matthew Stafford, keep them alive. They got Cooper Kupp back. They got Puka Nacua doing his thing as a rookie. They still got Aaron Donald. They still got solid defensive pieces over there. You know what I'm saying? But this is still a dangerous team, especially if you're over in the NFC and you got to deal with them. So, anyways, again for you, I'm gonna toss this over to you. For this game? My number two questions are: do you think the Steelers are finally getting into a groove, or are they just temporarily still in the fans' heart for the time being? And then for the Rams, can the Rams bounce back, keep their mind sharp, and make a playoff push after this loss to the Steelers?
Um, I think the Steelers are still in hearts. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't believe in Kenny Pickett. This was one of them trap games. The Rams didn't show up. That's what it is. I actually, I'm not gonna lie, I picked the Rams to beat the Steelers because I looked at matchups and I'm looking at Cooper Kupp. They're gonna put him in the slot. They're gonna put Nakua on the linebacker. They're gonna find ways to expose you, right? And that's what I thought. I thought Aaron Donald was gonna get to Kenny Pickett. I thought Kenny Pickett was gonna throw some picks. He didn't throw a touchdown. He didn't throw an interception. He had a pretty pedestrian game. You know what I mean? He only missed 8 balls. So, you know, so I don't think the Steelers are horrible. You know what I mean? I do think they'll make the playoffs. Not gonna lie to you, but they're gonna get bounced in the first round. That's just what I believe. Um, as for the Rams, I don't believe in the Rams either. I don't think the Rams will make the playoffs. I think they got a lot going on. They don't have a running game. They got running backs that are backups. They got Royce Freeman and Henderson. Like those are backups. Royce Freeman used to play for the Texans, and he was a backup. You know, so I just think that they need to. They probably if they get Saquon Barkley, all right, then I'll be like, hey, hey, hold up. You know what I'm saying? But right now, as the team is currently constructed offensively, no. Um, I just think that, they got too much going on. Matthew Stafford is great. You know what I mean? He's a great quarterback, but you're asking for too much for him at this point of his career. You know what I mean? I think that, he can give you little flashes of that, but consistently every week, I don't think his body is set up that way to do that. And y'all know when y'all get in y'all 30s, you can get out the bed, your hamstring fall off your body. You
It's
get a
over.
flat tire. So that's all I'm saying.
Right, right,
you
right.
know? So that's my take, B.
All right, cool. I'm gonna throw this doggy bone out there for y'all too that's watching us, listening. Uh, Derrick Henry still being shopped around too. They got until October 31st now. So hey Rams, if you're listening, knock knock, hint hint. You might got you somebody, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, let's get into this third game. This third game from last Sunday, the big one that we almost all got right. So of course we're gonna stunt when we get it right. But anyways, we're gonna talk about this Dolphins versus Eagles game. You know what I'm saying? We said it here on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? We all stated that the Eagles have that type of defense that can give, that track team that like to get out fast and start fast. You know what I'm saying? We said they had the defense that can give them fits, and that's exactly what the Eagles did. And I also mentioned personally that they have the type of defense that can keep them in games, even if Jalen Hurts does have a couple of hiccups, in which he did. He threw a pick six and he had a fumble that the Dolphins recovered. So that made the Dolphins defense look a little bit better than what they normally are. But again, like I mentioned, they have that defense that can go get that big takeaway when they need it. And not only that, they got the type of offense that can play fast, that can play physical, that can play slow. They can do anything you want over there. You know what I'm saying? You need a remix for anything over there from the Brotherly Love City, you know what I'm saying? They can give it to you with the tush push, you know what I'm saying? Deep passes, they can give you anything you want, you know what I'm saying? So we gonna freestyle this one. So a lot of people say, oh, if the Dolphins had all their O linemen, if they had Jalen Ramsey, if Waddle wasn't hurt, if Tyreek Hill was 100%, if A-Chan was playing, it's a lot of what ifs. Sound like a lot of excuses to me. But for you, the big question for the Dolphins is, and for me, do you think if the Dolphins had all their players, regardless of what people saying, do you think if they had their whole team 100% healthy, do you think this game would have had a different outcome behind
No, they would have
it?
got Molly Wop the same way. That Eagles team, that front seven, like I say, and those who watch football understand this. That Eagles front seven can get to you, right? One thing with Tua, okay, Tua is a kind of manage the game type of quarterback. Their offense is a get the ball out of his hands quickly. 1-2, I'm looking at Tyreek. 1-2, Tyreek not open, Jalen. 1-2, running back. That's their offense for Tua. That's how they keep him from throwing those interceptions. He cannot hold the ball for too long. When he holds the ball for too long, he throw picks. Look at that route, that deep ball he threw to Slay. You know what I'm saying? Big play Slay. He was trying to throw, I think, to Waddle, and he holding on to the ball, then he threw it, interception. So
Oski.
you see what I'm saying? So that front seven was able to get pressure and get around Tua, which gave him the happy feet. Right? He got the happy feet. He trying to hurry up and get that ball out. And you notice, I mean, Tyreek Hill, yeah, he had 11 receptions, but he only had 88 yards. Right? He only had 88 yards. Why? Because the secondary kept everything in front. They don't allow Tyreek Hill to get behind them, right? They didn't allow Jalen Waddle to get behind them. Jalen Waddle had 63 yards and 6 receptions. You see what I'm saying? They kept them bottled up, right? Yeah, you can catch that little underneath pass, and yeah, you can run across the field, but you're not getting behind me. And that's what they did a good job. And a lot of people are figuring it out about the Dolphins. Also, the Dolphins defense is not very good. Their offense their offense is the type of offense that can put points on you fast. What happens when they put points on you fast? Now you're behind the eight ball. Now you can't run your game plan. You have to get outside your game plan. So if you're a team that's like, hey, we good at running the ball, we're gonna be physical and run the ball. But if they come out there and you down 21-0 in the first quarter, now you have to abandon that game plan and try to get back in the game. You know what I mean? But when you play a team like the Eagles, who's able to apply pressure and slow it down, and keep hitting you, and keep hitting you, and keep hitting you, right? They basically took that wheel away from the Dolphins. They kind of got exposed, if you ask me, because each time they play physical teams, the Bills and the Eagles, they don't do well. So that's my take on it, man. What I watched from that game was the Dolphins got their soul taken from them. That's what I got from them.
Right on, right on, right on. And then let's not forget the Eagles went shopping. You know what I'm saying? They went and bought them a safety. You know what I'm saying? So they just completed the chess piece set. So they got every little piece they need to manipulate to get to the Super Bowl and possibly take it all. And then not only that, I'm gonna go on the record and say I don't believe the Dolphins can play from behind. You know, they put Tyreek Hill at first leg, and once he handed the baton off, it's kind of like, ooh, he gave him a nice lead, but I think they're getting walked down. So you know what I'm saying? I don't believe they can play from behind. You know that I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna go on record and say that. But anyways, we done with the recap of last Sunday. Let's move on to some future action. You know what I'm saying? What we got coming up this Sunday. So we're gonna do a little special edition. We're gonna run through. We got 3 specific games we're gonna talk about, but then we're gonna give y'all our pick for each and every game that's going down this week. But first, we're gonna go ahead and get these picks jumping, and then we're gonna talk about those 3 specific games we got highlighted that we put asterisks by and we want to talk about. So first up, you know what I'm saying? Who you got, Capote? You got the Jets versus Giants. The Jets 3-3, the Giants 2-5. Who you taking in that one?
Uh, you say Jets versus Giants.
Jets versus
I,
Giants.
I got I got the Giants. I got the Giants winning 28-14. I
Okay,
just feel
cool.
like the Giants don't got an identity right now.
Okay, okay. Next game, we got the Eagles versus the Commanders. That should be an easy one.
Eagles. I got
Eagles.
Eagles winning big 34-17.
Okay.
Eagles.
I'm gonna ride with the Eagles on that one too. Next up, we got the Vikings versus Packers. They are Packers 2-4, the Vikings 3-4. Who you got in that?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Vikings. I got the Vikings. I say
Okay.
close one, 21-17.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the pack on that one, and when we get into it, I'm gonna tell you why I picked the pack. You know what I'm saying? Whether they win or lose, I'm gonna tell you why I picked the pack. Next up, we got the Falcons versus the Titans. The 4-3 Falcons travel over to Tennessee. The Titans gonna be wearing the throwback orders uniform. They 2-4. Who you got in that game?
All right, that's a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
I go with the Falcons, man. I think Allen Bijan, Allen Iverson gonna have a big game. So I got the Falcons winning 17-10.
Okay. I'm around with the Falcons in that one too. All right, next up we got the 3-4 Saints versus the 3-4 Colts. Who you got in that one?
I got the Saints. I think they're gonna bounce back. I got a close game, 28-21.
Okay. I'm gonna take the Colts right there because I think Garner Minshew gonna have one of those games if he up to it and he having that Minshew mania stuff going on. I like the Colts in that game. Next up we got the Browns versus Seahawks. Both of these teams 4-2. Both of these teams playing solid defensive football and somewhat okay offensive football. So who you got in that Browns Seahawks?
I ain't gonna hold you. Uh, I think the Browns win big on this one.
Whew.
I got them 34-10
Okay,
Browns.
okay. I'm still kind of undecided on this one, but again, I'm gonna take the Browns not by big, but I think they defensive playmaking show up and they make one more big play than the Seahawks do, and the Browns win it like that by one touchdown. So next up, we got the Chiefs taking on the Broncos.
This finna be a blowout, man. But I probably won't watch this game because I ain't gonna hold you. I'm tired of seeing Taylor Swift, man.
I'm sick of
But
it.
I'm just tired of seeing that white girl on. Like I don't understand it. You know what I mean? Like the first day I was like, oh, okay, but every week he catch the ball, they show her, man. But anyway, Chiefs. I got Chiefs 35, Broncos 3.
I got Chiefs up big time in this game. Next game, we got the 5-2 Ravens taking on the 1-6 Cardinals. I'm gonna go ahead and say it right here. I'm taking the Ravens until something else happens. I'm not talking bad about the Ravens no more. I got the Ravens right here.
Yeah, Ravens. I got them winning big, man. I say they put 40. I say 42-13.
Okay. Next up, we got the 2-5 Bears. You know they found a little magic last week with Badgett, the undrafted rookie. You know, down to Foreman. He got an end zone 3 times, and then you got him taking on the Chargers, who is on a complete downfall. They have no identity. They struggling with everything right now. Who you got in this game? Bears and Chargers.
I got the Chargers 28-17.
Okay, I'm a ride with the Bears here because I like Duncan Foreman. He get a chance to show what he can do again. I'm a ride with the Bears on that one. So next up we got 3-4 Raiders and the 5-2 Lions looking to bounce back after last week. Who you got?
I got Lions big. Uh, I say 38-17.
Right. I'm not sure if Garoppolo coming back this week, but I don't care if he was. I'm still gonna take the Lions because I still got a little faith in the Detroit Lions again. To refer back to my question that I have for you, I don't think they selling wolf tickets. I think they just got to find that complete nucleus and put it together and keep fighting and get to where they supposed to be this season. You know what I'm saying? All right. We got the Texans and the 0-6 Panthers. We got the battle of the rookie quarterbacks right now. C.J. Stroud and set himself apart from Bryce Young. I'm gonna go ahead and make my pick. I'm taking the Texans to go ahead and stampede all over the Panthers. I'm taking the Texans. They win it big.
I think it's gonna be close early. I think it's gonna be, maybe like 10-7. But I got the Texans winning 30-7. Uh I think the Texans gonna cut it up in the second half. So 30-7.
Okay. And now that we got them picks out of the way, y'all know why mine said that. You can always get back at us on the next episode as we give the reaction to some of these games. But at the same time, let's talk about the big three right here. And I ain't trying to take nothing from you, Ice Cube. I'm just using the term big three, baby. But anyway, the first game we're gonna talk about, we're gonna go ahead and get them out the way because I can't stand the Cowboys. But anyways, we're gonna talk about this Rams versus Cowboys. The Rams coming in 3-4. You know they had a tough loss last week. The Cowboys coming in 4-2. They finally got off the snide. They got them a win the last time we seen them out. So the reason why I picked this game is because it has NFC wildcard implications. And if it was the NFC wildcard game coming up, this week, I would be taking the Rams simply because I don't like the Cowboys, and that's that. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the direction. I don't like how Jerry Jones operated, and it's a lot more that play into it. But that's another topic, another story. But for you, who you got in this game, and tell me why. Tell them why you taking the Rams versus Cowboys. Who you got?
Man, I don't like the Cowboys, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. I can't stand the Cowboys, but I gotta pick them this week, man. I think they're a more complete team than the Rams. The Rams got some holes on their team. Cooper Cup, and he just came back. He trying to find his groove. Um, they don't have a running game. The Cowboys defense is stout. I'm gonna pick the Cowboys. I just feel like, even with Dak sorry behind doing what he's doing, I still feel like offensively they're they're a little bit better. So I got the Cowboys win. I think it's gonna be close. 34-31.
Okay. I'm gonna take the Rams regardless. I don't care the score. I don't care if it's by 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna take the Rams. So I ain't gonna give no details on that game. All right. So for this next game, we're gonna talk about the 2-5 Patriots who just got a big win over the Bills, going against they traveling to Miami to play against the Dolphins, who of course just took that little lashing last week against the Eagles. So this game has a matchup of one team that's trending up a little bit for the Patriots and one team that's kind of staying stagnant right now. And we talking about the Dolphins. So in this game, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I'm gonna take the Dolphins, but again, I think it's gonna be one of those knockout drag type of fights. It ain't gonna be no easy walk through the park for the Dolphins, especially with some of the injuries they sustained last week. Tyreek Hill said he good to go, but we don't know if he 100%. The cheetah can be at 90%. He can be at 80%, and it'll still be a tough matchup for anybody. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and take the Dolphins. Go ahead and give your input on this game, Capo.
Man, I ain't gonna hold you. I want to pick the Dolphins, but Bill Belichick is a sneaky, sly old man, right? I'm taking the Patriots. I think it's gonna be a close game. I think it's gonna come down to a field goal. I got them winning 27-24. I just think that, like I said, Bill Belichick, man, you can't never count him out. You know what I mean? He finds ways to get his team to play hard, and I just think he gonna figure out a way to stifle that offense and put his players in situations to succeed. So I got it coming down to a field goal, 27-24.
I mean,
Patriots.
He ain't the third most winning coach of all time for no reason. You know, last week he got his 300 victory. You know what I'm saying? He moved into that third spot. He definitely gunning for 301. So it has implications of that type of stuff happening right here. And he does game plan well. He know how to take your big plays out of the game. So it's gonna be a close matchup. But I'm still robbed the Dolphins. So the last game, the big game I highlighted was the Bengals versus the 49ers. A lot of people are like, why? Because the Bengals slowly they on an upward trend right now. They trying to get their foot, and we got to see if Joe Burrow gonna be right, if he got his leg back right after the bye week, if other people that was injured came back, they good after the bye week, and then we got the 49ers slowly on a downward trend. Again, another one of those games we got a team that's slowly moving up, and a team that's slowly moving down or staying stagnant. So in this one, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna go with my boy Joe Cool. Joe Burrow. I'm gonna go with Joe Burrow. I think he get the job done. I think him and Jamal Chase find their rhythm early, and I think it just end up being too much for the 49ers. They don't beat them big. I give them winning by 6. I give them 2 field goals. They win by 6. I ain't even gonna call it them. I just say they win by 6. But at the same time, for the 49ers, I don't know how healthy they are right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Christian McCaffrey gonna come in and be healthy. I don't know if Deebo Samuel gonna come in and be healthy if they even play. You know what I'm saying? It's still up in the air. You know what I'm saying? They don't like to reveal that type of stuff until game time decision. But even with IU, you know what I'm saying? George Kittle been a ghost lately. So right now for Brock Purdy, it's kind of like, man, I need to know is they gonna play or they not, and they not getting those answers. But I'm pretty sure he know. But at the same time, he got a little snake in his boot. So I'm gonna ride with the Bengals on this. What's your take? What's your take, Capo?
Man, this is a tough one. This is gonna be a good matchup. Um, Brock Purdy might not play either, from according to reports. So if Brock Purdy don't play, I'm gonna go with the Bengals. But if Brock Purdy plays, I'm gonna go with the Niners. I think Brock Purdy he has greatness in him, and he knows how to orchestrate and get that team to play hard. You know, regardless if it's, hey, we're gonna run the ball, 40 times, and I'm gonna just throw for 140 yards and a touchdown, or hey, I have a rushing touchdown. Whatever the case is, he's willing to do whatever it takes to get this team to victory. So, like I said, depends if Purdy plays. If Purdy plays, I got him winning close. I say 17-14. I think it's going to be a nip and tuck game. I don't think the offenses are really going to be going off like that. Um, but if he doesn't play, I don't believe in Sam Darnold. So I got the Bengals winning 28-17.
Okay. I think Shanahan over there pulling a wild card. He got the Joker mask on. He knows if they playing or not. He just trying to make the Bengals struggle with the game plan or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But it's smart card, especially when you're trying to get back on, trying to get back up off the snot. You know, trying to get on that uphill. So it's a smart card. It's a smart way to play it. But hey, folks, we have reached the end. My boy K Po gonna close us out. Here you go.
Hey, man, we didn't talk about basketball. We didn't talk about football. We're gonna continue to talk about those things. Like I tell y'all, we're gonna talk about other things as well. We got big things coming on the channel. We got merchandise coming. We got interviews with players coming. Like I'm telling y'all, man, we really dedicated to this, man. You know what I mean? And we want y'all to come along the journey. So y'all keep coming in the comment section, keep liking, hating, subscribing. You know what I mean? Like I tell y'all in every video. Tell your grandma, your uncle, your daddy, hey man, I don't mean no harm, but when you go to visit your dead people, tell them too. Hey, I watch these boys and they on YouTube.
Right,
I know they can hear you.
right.
You know what I mean? Just let them know, and I don't mean no offense. If you get mad at me, hey, I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, still let them know. All right, we the Mind on Greatness podcast. I'm Boss Hogg. That's Brody. We gone.
In greatness we trust, baby.